I press the button.
Do I
Okay.
see the red? Yeah, this is live. And it's counting
Okay.
down like time. So we
Uh,
on now.
all right. All right. All eyes on me, Mr. Wamba. On me.
Well, holla if you hear me, Val the voice.
Yes, these are words of wisdom, Mr.
And
Wamba.
they strictly for my
Well, hey, let- too far, bro. Too
no,
far.
not too far, not too far. Tupac.
Oh, okay. That's what you meant. Oh my gosh. Well, let's get this show on the road. Let's go.
Sisters.
Yay. It is Talk on Tuesdays. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. It is Val the Voice Johnson with Mr.
Brothers and
Womble.
sisters. Val,
So
if my
we are.
homie calls.
Oh my gosh. Interludes is streaming every Tuesday on our YouTube channel, our Facebook company homepage, our Pure Lighthouse and Home of Interludes, LinkedIn, and where we are available on Pod TV, Roku Channel. Thank you, Mr. Lee. If you'd like to become a sponsor on our platform, book time with us at linktr.ee/Pure Light Media. And then we'll ask Mr. Springer to put that in if you're interested in starting your own podcast or become a fan of us here on Talk on Tuesday. Go ahead and join us on Patreon. And I'll ask Kevin to place it in the chat. Become a fan or member of our
If my homie
podcasting
calls.
community today. That's
Right, y'all.
right.
Real
That's what we're
brothers and
talking about.
homie calls. All right, y'all. Real brothers and sisters.
Well, before we get to
All
all
right,
of that,
y'all.
before
Brothers
we
and
get to all of
sisters.
that, it's time for some birthday love.
Hey,
All
happy
right. Oh, wait.
birthday.
Hold it,
Happy
hold it.
birthday. Happy birthday to
Yay!
you.
It's a birthday. It's a
It's your
birthday.
birthday.
It's a
It's your
birthday.
birthday. It's your birthday.
Yay!
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 Hey!
Yay!
Yay!
Birthday!
Everybody, wish Val the voice happy birthday. It's your birthday.
Yay!
It's your birthday. Go show it. Oh, that's a different person.
So one of my dear friends came by the house on my actual birthday on Saturday, and
One
she
of your
gave me
homies. One of your homies
one of
called.
my homies. If my homies
All
call,
right.
she's one of the homies.
Well,
So
all
she
right,
went ahead
y'all.
and brought me this, and I said, "Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful! Thank you so very much." So yeah, that is the love I got. But something happened on the way
There
on
you
my on.
go.
I was trying to go do something. Thank you so very much, Mr. Springer.
I understand, Val. I mean,
Mhm.
R. Kelly said age ain't nothing but a number, but he's in
Mhm.
jail. I'm told that for your birthday, you wanted to stop and smell the flowers, right?
Pretty much. And then something didn't quite happen in that regard. And let me share a little bit of what didn't quite happen on on the way to see some cherry blossoms. Let me go ahead and show this to you. My goodness. All right. I am by the Museum of Science and Industry. I don't know if you can see it in the background. There it is. That's the Museum of Science and Industry. And I am trying to see if I can get to the cherry blossoms. Now, two major things. For my birthday, I am dressed very cute, but I only have like one or two layers, and it's really, really chilly out here. Plus, we've lost our son. I'm trying to figure out how to get to the cherry blossoms. I talked to a few people about how to do the cherry blossoms things, and I can't get to it. There's a bridge that I see. I'm gonna walk across here and show you this bridge. I see. Here we go. It's over there.
Looks crazy.
But there's no direct line to get to the bridge. Now, I don't know how to get to that bridge, but there's a bridge over there that takes you through. They got the nerve, because it's a little bit chilly. I want to say it's about 45, 46 degrees. I think the temp has dropped in a long time. But if you see right up, they got this blocked off.
This is horrible.
You're like, what is going on? This is blocked off. And then what's very exciting is they have a cherry blossom sign. Look at the cherry blossom sign.
Michael, this is hilarious.
Isn't that beautiful? It's got an arrow. Guess where the arrow is pointing? No bridge. Do you see a bridge? I see water and I see some ducks. Actually, it's too cold for ducks. I don't see no ducks out here.
Shucky ducky.
You see this?
Whack, whack.
Blossoms. Where that arrow going? Chicago Park District, get it together. I didn't spend 1 hour looking for parking. I parked, and now I can't find the cherry blossoms. Plus, it's cold. This is Val Johnson reporting. Val, the voice Johnson reporting for Interludes. This is some bull.
Okay. Okay. We got.
Hold on there, now. Shut your mouth. Hey, so here's a solution to finding them cherry blossoms.
I need a solution.
You need your own place, and you can plant your own. So, cha-ching, Val the voice. I heard there's some openings at Fox and CNN, and maybe you could make that make that money, y'all. Gotta make that money, man. And then you can have your own cherry blossoms in your own spacious, several acre backyard, And you could have Oprah and what's her name come by.
Oh, and Mark is saying that maybe Don Lemons or Tucker Carlson's contract. I don't know.
I mean, they both of them, CNN, Fox, they got some money, They got some open spaces, and you look like you needed some wide open spaces. So that was the birthday plan, was to actually smell the flowers, like they always say, right?
It was to smell the flowers. But what ended up happening now, my rider died, and she know who she is.
Oh, your riders.
My rider died. She was supposed to go with me. She was supposed to come with me, and we were supposed to go celebrate at one of my favorite places, the Cheesecake Factory. But what ended up happening is that I had to do something on my own. So here we go again, doing stuff by ourselves. Here we go. You see what that is?
I guess you gotta take control,
Exactly.
Well, I guess we gonna
eat. Happy birthday to me.
Terrible.
Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me.
Now look, that was not at the restaurant. That was at my house.
Your birthday, you ended up having one of them Prince birthdays. Another lonely birthday. Man, I'm glad it was a real candle. I got to tell you, the last time I got candles and people had them, I don't know if it was on purpose or they couldn't read. It could be either or. They ended up being them trick candles,
Oh, and I was like, and they don't go,
and they pop back on, and they kept popping back on, and I'm like, y'all gonna give me CPOD? I'm gonna have to be one of them commercials on TV. And they're like, I'm feeling high. I'm like, y'all gonna have me like them people selling them drugs on TV. Trying to blow out these candles. Well, I'm glad your candle. So you did make a wish. You can't tell us, so that it comes true. That's the whole wishing, etiquette there. But you did make a wish, right?
I did make a wish, and
I have an idea what it was for.
You didn't put it back up there again.
What could that birthday wish been for? Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
I would like $1 million.
That
Woo!
is too funny.
Man, or
That is
maybe it
too
was a
funny.
million subscribers. And you know what? You can help Val the Voice. If you're not
Mhm,
a subscriber already to Interludes, please do so.
mhm.
Subscribe to Interludes channel to hear us and make Val help her to have a happier birthday. You got a whole year to work on this, okay?
A whole
So,
year and
a
whole year.
whole year. A whole year. Because years got to
But
eat too. Yeah, uh-huh.
yeah, so we're gonna make our way for the real reason why we decided to do this show today. I'm very excited. And I have to always tell you all, Mr. Womble always directs me to watch great docu-series. And I have to say, this was one that I was looking forward to and excited
Yeah.
to talk about. My goodness, Michael, this was another shot out the park. You were like, you must see this, and I was thinking, should I? Yes, it's Tupac, Dear Mama.
Yeah. Y'all gotta hear what we talking about, and then afterwards later on, you gotta hit them up, hit up FX. All right, FX on Hulu, so you can check this out. Val the
Mhm.
Voice. So when you did check it out, what did you discover?
Well, right here we see Alan Hughes is the director for this, and if you guys are going, oh my gosh, I recognize that last name. He is one half of the Hughes brothers. Brought us Menace to Society, the the film with Denzel Washington. I can't think of it right now.
Denzel's
And
done many films, but the
he's
film
done
that
many
comes to
films.
mind
The
by
Book
the
of
Hughes
Eli. I'm
brothers.
so sorry. I'm so
Well,
sorry.
the
The
other
Book of
film that comes to mind when you say the Hughes brothers after Minister
Mhm,
Society, I know y'all
mhm.
gonna know, is Dead Presidents.
Dead Presidents, right? Oh my gosh,
Definitely.
yes.
Yes,
Yes,
Dead
definitely, definitely.
Presidents.
So the one thing is that a lot of directors they go around they before they get really into film they do music videos. That's a wonderful. It's like a gateway. Like you do a music video, and then you go ahead and you start directing films. The Hughes brothers, Alan in particular, I forgot Michael, and I remember seeing this. He directed Brenda's Got a Baby and one other video for Tupac. And Michael, I was really remarked
Trapped.
by
Trapped.
Trapped. He did
You know they
Trapped.
got me trapped.
You know, he got me trapped. So I love this shot here because this was like a Polaroid that was taken of them on the set of one of the videos that he directed for Tupac. And so I'm thinking, I'm like, I wonder why it's so ironic that he's directing or has put together this docu series. And then this is now I'm going to lead this to you, Michael. Why was it significant that Alan Hughes directed and actually put together this docu series, Dear Mama? Remember the
Well,
story?
one of the fascinating things about this, one, so let's just kind of put it out here, okay?
Mhm.
This isn't the first documentary made about Tupac.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh, how many have
yes,
been
we
done?
know. Countless, as in countless, probably too many, with the exception of this one. This is different. This isn't what
Mhm.
you have seen before and probably not what you expected. So, looking at that picture, I want to throw it up there now. So, both the Hughes brothers together directed, as Val the Voice said, two of Tupac's early videos, actually his first video, Trapped,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
then the very memorable Brenda's Got a Baby. They were friends with him and they knew early on that this guy was special. It wasn't just that
Right.
he was a musician, it wasn't just that he had this kind of writing material. They talk about the fact that at times the camera is on them in their footage that they didn't use for the video, and his eyes just take up the entirety of the screen, and they have so much behind them, the life force there, that they convince a movie studio that they could get a movie done with him. And the studio's like,
Mhm.
fine, because you need to have a platinum hip hop star in this, and if you have that, we'll greenlight the movie. So they got it worked out where he had a part in it, and they pitched it, and they got a green light, meaning they could go forward with the movie. They would get the
Right.
funding as long as everything worked out. Now that movie was Menace to Society.
So that was their
Ah,
first film. Is that correct?
yeah, that was their first major
Oh,
film.
major
So
film, right?
so the Hughes brothers, Menace to Society, which I know you have seen. If you watching us, you've seen it. Tupac is supposed to be in Menace to Society. Now, do y'all
Mhm.
remember Tupac in Menace? No, because he's not in the movie. Something happens along the way. The part that he was offered is not a part that he wanted. He wanted major changes. He wanted rewrites. He had this idea of who he was even that early in his career, and this role wasn't going to work with it. So the Hughes brothers
Mhm.
are like, come on, man. Like, we're trying to make movies. We've done this stuff for you. We understand, don't you trust us? Blah, blah, blah. They go back and forth. And as legend has it, up to this point, Tupac rocks the Hughes brothers, specifically Allen, and just takes him out and beats him without mercy, to the point where, Tupac gets brought up on charges for assault. Well, as Allen Hughes, over the years, this is the guy who is making the documentary now about Tupac's life,
I
who gets the
know.
green light not just from his mom, his aunt, the estate. This is the guy that is telling the story. So at some point, the documentarian behind the camera, everybody
Mhm.
who he's interviewing mentions at some point, dude, I didn't expect you to be the person telling this story. So he has to come around from behind the camera to in front of the camera and address the beat down elephant in the room.
Mhm.
Val, what does he say? Tupac didn't take me out. Who took him out? He said
Several. It was
at least 10 other dudes.
10 other people. It wasn't just him. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, because that made news, Michael. I know you remember it because I remember
Oh,
when
I
when
do. Oh, I
when it came
do.
out because I was thinking, oh, he's gonna be a part of this movie because we find out that the great thing about this documentary, we're able to find out how some things came to Tupac. In other words, how he got his role in Juice. It wasn't initially supposed to be him. It was supposed to be other gentleman, Money B from Dennis Digital Underground. I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
didn't know
Buddy,
that.
Buddy B didn't know it either, because he was
Money B
kind
didn't
of
know
like,
it either. He
I
was
can
like,
act. Why you get this
you
for
want me to
me?
act?
I know somebody that could do this role. I know who this role is perfect for.
Perfect
And
for
then there
not
was
me.
the toys friend that, would hang around and clown around with the underground when he comes around. That was the person that was perfect for that role. So he gives it to Tupac. Tupac
Mhm.
reads it, auditions for Juice, and of
Mhm.
course, as you watching us, you've seen Juice. You know Tupac gets the part. He's Bishop in Juice,
Mhm.
a role
Mhm.
that probably changes his trajectory, changes cinema at that time in the 90s and hip hop.
And one thing that I wanted to point out, that what makes this documentary very special is the adjacent story between Tupac and his mom, Afeni.
Right. They're like two
And
trains running.
two trains running. This story is running adjacent. And these are one of my favorite pictures that I grabbed that
Oh
kind of
my
have this
goodness.
look or whatever.
Yes.
But what I would like to do is honestly just talk about, I was remarked about how Hughes got footage from his high school. And this high school that he attended
Tamalpais,
was
Mount Tam.
Mount Tam. Yes, this is in Marin County,
Yeah, it's
California. And
Marin. Yeah.
you're familiar because you lived out there. So what was so special about this high school? I grabbed
Oh
this
my.
shot. There was so much footage of this of his early time before he got famous. They
Things that we've
interviewed
never
him
seen,
and he was just
really.
talking.
Yeah, footage that we've never seen before. So
Never seen this
so
village
so
before.
I lived everywhere, man. So and one of those places I was in was Marin
Hmm.
County. Marin
Hmm.
County is a county right on the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge. So it is
Okay.
home to some multi-million dollar homes, Sausalito. You can take a little ferry and go across the water to go see your Giants, the San Francisco Giants play. But Marin, although it's home to movie stars and extremely wealthy people, it has this one particular section called Marin City, which
Okay.
is like the for lack of a better words, it's the projects. The whole city's the
Hmm.
projects. It's bad. And guess where the African Americans live?
They live in the bad area
They
in the
do,
valley.
and
In the
Tupac
valley.
lived there, but he was able to attend Mount Tam, which is a high school. At the time, I was working in retail in California, and they were a place
Mhm.
where they were trying to get high school kids to work. They couldn't get them to work there, y'all, or stay on the job because they just the money to them was like, haha, we have money, we don't have to worry about this. I mean,
Mhm.
Val the voice when I was in Marin, and
Mhm.
this is like now almost about 15 or so years ago. They had
Okay.
Apple TV before I knew what Apple TV was. Okay.
They did? I didn't know
Oh
that.
my God, yeah.
Wow. I didn't
I
know
ended
that.
up I ended up house sitting during a point in time, and the person there had Apple TV. It was the first time I'd ever seen it. It wasn't
Mhm.
available the way it is today, but it was like if you were in the especially because this is near Silicon Valley.
Oh,
So this
wow.
is where Tupac goes. All the resources in the world. So they got the videos, and as Val said, it's so good, the footage that they have. And then Val, the history, that second train, Afeni, New York.
Whew. And just I'm not realizing if you guys we have reviewed the film Judas and the Black Messiah. We did review that film here, right?
In the Black, yes, Judas and the Black Messiah, set in Chicago, the story of
Hmm.
Fred Hampton, how he was assassinated and the FBI infiltrated the Panthers in Chicago and brutally murdered them. Yes,
So
we talked
The Black Panthers were kind of had satellite offices or had different offices in different parts of the country, and one of the main offices was in New York. What was happening? J. Edgar Hoover was given the power to just kind of do what he could, and we saw that also in the film Judas and the Black Messiah of dismantling the Panthers. And one of the charges that they brought upon the Panthers that were there in 1969, and this also included Afeni, was a conspiracy to either blow up the subways and department stores. And it was 21 that were convicted and tried. And the great thing is that I find out that she defended and she spoke up for them. And she was the first person that was released of the 21 and was able to kind of arrange for funding and get the others out. And so they said we want her to to speak. And we find out that like her son, she's a great orator. She's a great
or
speaker, and
yeah,
she's a great poet. She writes poetry. She's very learned. She reads a lot. We find the same thing out about Tupac. He reads a lot. A lot of the raps that he wrote for his very first album, Tupacalypse.
now
We're able. Alan is able to zoom in. Hughes is able to zoom in and see. We are able to see his the notebooks of him of the lyrics of some of the songs that we know. And I have to say this, Michael, for anyone that is a fan of the music, it is imperative to understand the mom and to just
absolutely.
get the full picture of what
Mm,
what Afeni went through and while she was carrying Tupac, and then just what she had eventually ended up going into, just the post traumatic stress that she went through with
right.
the Black Panthers. You see it later on, and it's depicted so very well. And I have to say that there was a lot of stuff about the Black Panther Party and what they had gone through, Michael. I didn't know. I
Mm-hmm.
thought I knew a lot, but I didn't know any of that. I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah. I mean, I think that's what's was missing in previous. That's a great picture too. So,
Mm-hmm.
so that's what was missing in previous documentaries on Tupac. Sometimes they just kind of strung together these uh, junket interviews with him and said it's a
Mm-hmm.
movie. No, it's
It's a
not.
movie.
It's not. What Alan Hughes does here is he constructs a story, and as you said, it's like two trains running. There, you've got
Mm-hmm.
a Feeney giving birth to Tupac, and then you have Tupac wanting to go back and do something that would make his mom proud. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's part of the connection here. He remembers his roots. He talks about this. At times, we know Tupac could be scandalous. He could say things that we can't say here, and we're not going to tonight. Uh, and he had that part of him. But that part of him was this urgency that things are
Mm-hmm.
so important that I can't worry about saying the right words or being polite or
Mm-hmm.
as they would say in the Tennessee legislature, right? Decorum. How do you speak to people? This is not the way you talk to another person. It's like, yeah, but the things I'm talking about are they got to be done now. Man, I can't worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
This person, Tupac, is somebody that knows it seems that he's got a short amount of time to get
Mm-hmm.
all of this out of him that is been put there that he needs to say. So he can't wait for it to be, softened or are you ready to receive this message? This is like, no. Holla if you hear me. I gotta tell you to keep your head up right now, okay?
Exactly.
And
Right.
this
And you
message
see,
is strictly from my Black Panthers, right? Vital
and
part of his legacy. Definitely.
yeah, and thank you so much for saying that, Mark. I didn't know all of the great things that the Panthers were doing.
Oh yeah,
And
oh yeah,
it
and Val, just kind of touching in on this, I think that's helping to get you to this next point here is that he starts, and we see him back in California, but of course he spent time on the East Coast. Now,
Mhm.
for those of you that do know the Panthers, of course, started in Oakland. They started
That's
in
right.
California. So
Mhm.
where he goes back to and joins Digital Underground to do this music thing is in
Mhm.
Oakland. That's where
How
Digital
ironic.
Underground is. So he goes back into music in the same place, which is the birthplace of the Panthers. And at some point, he kind of has to make this choice. Either the music thing is going to work for him, and that's what is going to be his pursuit,
Mhm.
or he's gonna follow his mama's footsteps and go right political to push this agenda that the Panthers and pick up where they left off. Now that's something I did not know. I know the story of the Panthers, but this
Yeah,
idea that Tupac actually made the choice,
I know.
like, am I gonna go into music or am I going into politics? I never thought of him as necessarily a overtly political person, but
Me
you could
neither.
see it in everything he did. And certainly that's how I connected to him because I thought here's somebody of substance in hip hop at that time and coming from the West Coast. Because everybody who was so-called conscious or whatever at that time in the 90s, they were all East Coast
They
people,
were all
right?
East Coast, right? And the other footage that was very remarkable for me to see was to see Tupac address. They were talking about getting a new version of the Panthers together. They called it New America. It was a different title they gave it, and you heard him kind of passionately talking, and they would say, please don't curse." And so, but he got very riled up about, you guys are saying we're going to do something, but you all are not doing nothing. And before it was even, this is what saddens me the most, Michael, is um there was that comes out, I think it's in the second part of the second episode, where he goes into, he's excited, he's got a deal, He's with Interscope Records. And the person that's working with him, go and get a bank account so you can get your money and stuff. So he goes, and
Oh, you gonna
then
tell the story?
oh well, yeah, and here's the thing.
Okay.
Before it was, I think Rodney King hadn't happened yet. I think it was about to happen, but I don't think it had happened yet. But he ended up suing the Oakland police department for having him. They slammed him down on the ground, and I was thinking to myself, "Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that whole thing." And they showed how Tupac used the media to literally defend his points and himself, and it wasn't derogatory, and it wasn't they was like, don't do it like that, but he's like, no, 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 I need to have a voice, and I'm going to use my voice, and you guys are not going to tell me, you know you no, I need you to hear my voice. And and my thing is that a lot of the things, and we're talking now 30 plus years ago, all of these things happening, and just kind of that defense of, I'm being mistreated in America, and I'm gonna be a voice. If no one else is a voice of anyone, I'm gonna be the voice and defend. And that's the key. We talked about this earlier, Michael. The personality of Tupac was defend people.
Yeah,
Let's I
and
need you
you
to
hear
expand
that,
on that.
and you
Yeah.
and you hear that. You hear it in the music too.
Oh my
You hear
gosh.
that in his music, and
Mhm.
so coming up in just a couple, you're gonna hear both Val the Voice and myself, our top 5 Tupac songs. A
Okay, so
list
you
that I
you
know that
go.
you've been working on, and it's kind of been going back and forth
It's
with
back
you,
and
right?
forth. It's back and forth. And you know what? You go first.
Okay.
I see Coach is back with us. He's backstage. But you go first and let me know, what is your top 5?
All right, so it certainly was a difficult thing to do. I kept kind of going back and forth on it, and I had to kind of put some stuff together to try to figure it out. I kept crossing things out, but I
Me
got to give you.
too.
I'm gonna give you number 5. I'm gonna start with,
Okay.
with my number 5 here, and my number 5 is just because when you live there, this is the anthem. I mean, still to this day, you heard it on the Super Bowl. Y'all that watched when the Super Bowl came to Inglewood, always up to, So California Love is like the unofficial California anthem. All right. Well, if you are there, you know all the places because you've driven through there, or you eaten there, or you driven very quickly through there. So I gotta go top 5. My number 5 on this really abbreviated countdown of Tupac songs is California Love. And the next up is the party anthem. The party anthem of anthems, featuring my guy and his guys. Shock G, may he rest in peace. Digital Underground. I Get Around. Now that's a Tupac song, but that's Digital Underground, right? You got Money B, you got Shock G on there.
Mhm.
Shock G, of course, is the one that took the satin out your. So yeah, so you got them there. So that's
Mhm.
that's that's my 4. My 3 is the
Mhm.
anthem that of course, if you all are on TikTok still, if y'all not listening to us and you're still on TikTok, you know that TikTok just a couple of months ago had this Tupac song as one of their kind of challenges. People were like making videos to it to keep your head up. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Ah, man.
Oh
Yeah,
my
holla to
gosh.
my sisters
Oh
because
my, that's
Tupac
that's too
cares.
funny.
Don't nobody else care.
Mhm.
Oh man, and you kept seeing these melanin challenge people doing it. It was kind of interesting.
Number
Uh
2. Number 2.
Number 2, hey, my ride or die song. Holla if you hear me. Uh,
Mhm.
and you know my number 1. My number 1, come on, y'all. I gotta tell you the short version of it. every time I hear this song, I cry. Now, when I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, one of the exhibits at that time was a hip hop exhibit. Under glass, it's kind of touching back on this documentary. They had the handwritten lyrics to this song. And I
Mm-hmm.
looked down and I read it, and I don't know, maybe he wrote it at Mount Tam in high
He
school.
might have. He
He
might
might
have.
have, 'cause
Yeah.
it was on notebook paper and it was right there, and I sat
Mm-hmm.
there, y'all. I gotta tell you, I had to lean into the wall. All I was reading silently were the lyrics to Brenda's Got a Baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I stood there in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I remember because I wasn't alone, and I started bawling. I just started crying because
Mm-hmm.
that song, there's so much emotion to that song, and they go into it in the first 2 episodes of this documentary on Hulu called Dear Mama, directed
Mm-hmm.
by the Hughes brothers, produced by Alan Hughes as well as Quincy Jones III. And it goes into it. So my number one is Brenda's Got a Baby. To this day, if I hear that song, God, I got my glasses on because I knew I would do it. When I start
Oh
thinking about that
wow.
song and that video, the tears, I mean, I can start crying now. So that's my
Yeah.
top five. Val the Voice, take it away.
Okay, well, I'm going, and it's funny. I was looking for my list. I actually wrote them down, and then I'm like, oh my gosh. But it's a song that was on I want to say, his Tupacalypse Now. There was
That's right.
a
Yep.
lot of favorites on that
Apocalypse Now.
particular album. Yeah. So
Apocalypse Now.
Words of Wisdom was my favorite. And I have to say, like, I just loved how it flowed, and I'm all excited about that. And
There's a
definitely,
video floating around somewhere you doing it. I remember you making a video to the song. I remember this. Man, I had that big huge camera at the time. Walking around North Central, made a video to Words of Wisdom, started editing it. It's out there somewhere. I'm sure it's in the library.
and then of course number 4, just because it was just fun. And the funny thing is, with I Get Around, it was definitely radio friendly, but let me stop this right here. So when I met Tupac,
And catch. Name drop, name caught. So I'm sorry. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch it? Cause it was heavy for me to catch. My little arms are only so strong.
there was a place called Cliff Livingston's The Riviera here in Chicago, and Tupac was there, and it was a short little
At the
thing.
Riv, you better
And he
at
was
the
at the
Riv.
Riviera. Yes, he was. So I was excited. So that song came on, and everybody lost their mind. He had a couple of folks floating around him, and that's funny. You so silly, Valor Voice. When I met Tupac,
No,
but he
he
was
tell your Tupac story. I mean, I just want everybody visually, if they only looking, they're like, what's she talking about? This is the story of when Val the Voice met Tupac.
anyway.
And begin.
And for the sake of time, because I want to bring on our coach here.
No, Val, we got time. We got time for you and Tupac because I'm trying to picture you and Tupac at a nightclub. I'm endlessly fascinated. Let's go.
Okay, so I was dressed that night not to really titillate. So I had on my big cross color stuff. So I rode up to him like a homie, and he was just like, "Hey, what's up?" I was like, "Hey," and I'm like, "You know who you are? I know who I am." I'm like, "Okay, great." And I went back to dancing because I was all like, "Whoa, I met Tupac." But my thing was, I didn't want to. I kind of learned early on, you don't want to be like, because there were already women and stuff, swarming around. So I just kind of went to, kind of like a homie, like, "Hey, what's up?
So
You
you
know
went
who you
you
are?"
came you went to him like Jada does in the Keep Your Head Up video. You got on the big jeans and the platform shoes, and you
Come
just get a
on,
head
man.
on like,
Come
so
on. Come
you know who
on.
you are? And
Who
he's
am I?
like, yeah, pretty sure. My mama told me who I am. I've been working this out for the last, 15, 20. Yeah, think I got it. Okay. So,
And
so, so, and
that was it. That was it. The security people were kind of floating around him. I kind of disappeared in the crowd and was dancing. I was with a couple of my girls. Some people were, and then somebody on the mic that was like, "Hey, did you know we got Tupac in the house?" And everybody's like, "Yay!" And then shortly thereafter, he was not around anymore. He got around and he left.
So the river's on the south side. So I just want the
No, it was on the
record
north
straight.
side. It was
Oh, you
all
on
the
the
way on
north
the north
side. Okay,
side.
all right. So for
Mhm.
one thing, we can say definitely Chicago had love for Tupac. So
We did.
everything was good, right?
So
And you on
Michael,
the north side. North side had love for Tupac too.
right.
So
Yeah, yeah, Wise
yeah,
is
okay.
cracking up.
Yeah, keep
So
your
the
head
so
up.
the so here's the
That's
thing.
what you did. You kept your head up with Tupac. You gave him the head nod, like.
Exactly.
Hey, what's up, man?
So
What's up?
number three for myself, is also keep your head up. Number two, holla if you hear me. I like that one, but I think I would like to tie it with and see so many
Oh, we doing
tears.
ties. Oh, we doing
So many,
ties now.
yeah, I'm doing
I know
ties.
we were doing ties because on my list can include some ties, but I'm not gonna do that because I got love for Coach, and Coach got something special for us. I'm seeing, so I can't wait till Coach come on. He got something special for us. Woo!
And then
All right.
of course I will have to agree with you also on number one. Brenda's Got a Baby. To kind of see this documentary and to know what this was about, just to know that what he heard a story and decided to do a full-fledged song to it. It was just amazing. So
So
guys,
here's the
I have
point. It's that's some of the best opening lines to a hip hop song
Mhm,
ever. Brenda's
mhm,
got a baby, but Brenda's barely got a brain.
mhm.
Damn shame the girl can hardly spell her name. And then Money B comes in like, that's not our problem. That's up to Brenda's family. And then this is the essence of Tupac. Because anybody can quote lyrics. This is the essence of Tupac. That's why I brought
There
that
you
up.
go.
Because
Mhm,
he gets told that's not our problem. That's up to Brenda's family. And Tupac's like, no,
mhm.
let me tell you how it affects the whole community.
Right.
That's what motivated this young man. That's why he wanted to make his mama proud. And that's what you can see it in the first two episodes that are available on Hulu right now. Know that this is a 5-part series. So there's a new one coming out this Friday and 2 more to wrap it up. And I can't wait to see it.
Right. So, guys, go ahead and check it out. It is Dear Mama. It is on FX. And the next 3 episodes, it's going to be doing a new episode every Friday. Next one comes out on on the 28th, and we're really excited. We love Tupac, and definitely just excited for what it can do and what the message is. And guys, the music, the way the music is edited in this documentary, it'll make you fall in love with the lyrical content all over again. It is now time for this guy.
Man,
Hey.
Hey,
Oh.
we
Hey.
we probably not even gonna get to sports tonight because I gotta give you mine.
hey! I told him Coach got something for you.
Let
Coach
me
got
tell
something for you.
let me tell you something, Val. First of all,
Mhm.
I'm envy, and like you said, Cliff Levinson is my boy. I talk to Cliff all the time. And like you,
What?
Brandon Park, I'm like
Hold
that
on.
with
I gotta catch. Let me catch these names.
kept that,
I'm just here
kept
to
that,
catch the
kept
names.
that.
I
Yeah.
got it. I got it.
Matter of fact, Matter of fact, I'm gonna send him the show. So I'm gonna send an early shout out. What's up with my boy, ex-Chicago Bulls, my man, Cliff Levingston, now down in Indiana, Kokomo, Indiana, with the Kokomo Express, ABA back with the TBI basketball league, baby. Put one on.
There you go.
All right. So we got
Two or three
Tupac and
names are
Cliff's
dropped.
in Cliff's club, it's like, well, Cliff's my boy. All right. I'm
Yeah,
just here
yeah.
to catch names. I'm just here
Yeah,
to
yeah. Matter of fact, Mike. Matter of fact, the real up off diversity. So yeah, I know what you come off, Al.
Coach got
Yeah.
something for y'all.
Now I'm gonna drop. Let
Drop
me
it.
drop you the real. Let me drop you the real. The real.
Here come.
Now I'm gonna slide in on y'all like this. Oh, yeah.
Oh!
I'm gonna drop you. I'm gonna drop you like that, and then I'm gonna give you my best two cuts. And by for all those people that don't know, this is Pac's very first album, strictly for my inner.
Oh! Not the
Hey,
first one.
I call myself. Hey,
Not the first
hey,
one. Not the first
Mike,
one.
shut your mouth.
Now came first. Apocalypse Now came first.
Yeah, that's true. But in terms of the album, ooh,
I'm gonna have to properly disagree with you, Coach. I do.
Val's gonna disagree with you. She's gonna shout out to Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, Tupac was not the first album. Yeah, well, Brenda's got a baby on.
And to me, it was his best.
Yeah, Brenda's got a baby on that. I 100% agree with you. But in terms of the dope album, this album had loaded.
Well, do me a favor. Name me two cuts on that album that's your favorite. Let me see if I can agree with you.
I'm at the time, but strictly for my inner. Ooh.
Okay. And
the album.
No, not to play ho.
And
keep your head up. Keep your head up.
Yeah.
Keep your head up. You talk to the head.
Do me a favor. What's the sample that he uses for "Keep Your Head Up"?
Oh, now we're gonna go into the crate.
Oh,
really? All right. Come on now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be all right. Come on, if you know the music, you don't know that part. Come on now.
Oh, you got me.
Come on.
In the chat, help me out.
Okay, you know what? We all here to help each other.
Throw me a bone. Throw me a bone, Val. Throw me a bone.
Help him like I helped you earlier this week.
There you go, Mike. Hey, Mike, that's why we all on the same team. That's why we on the same team.
Hey, as Eazy-E said, we all in the same game.
Hey, now that was my two cuts. Now I'm gonna have to hurt you like this.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Coming up like in the cascade.
This is the greatest of all time, double platinum. And from this, I got to give you. How do you want me? How do you feel? Going up there in the cascade. I'm for real. Come on, man. How do you want it? Hey, Jodeci, right? Kicking a little bit of that Jodeci on there.
Because coach, because here's the way I looked at it. You could roll, and no disrespect, you could roll with LL and Boys to Men.
Right.
But the people that I wanted to be around, that was Tupac and Jodeci. I wanted the crowd that they were attracting. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit different.
Now, this album, the double album I got, it was so loaded, Val. Besides that, the number one mama song for Mother's Day, obviously, is Dear Mama. I think it's the coldest song any rapper ever produced about their mom, what he had to say. If you really take the music away and listen to the instrumental, because I do that all the time in the acapella version, man.
What sample does it use for Dear Mama?
Don't you know we love you, sweet?
Giving you a bone.
Yeah, please say it. Yeah, right.
So Coach, have you seen the documentary Dear Mama yet?
Don't tell me, Val, because I was on the road this weekend with my AAU team in Indianapolis. Shout out to my Tennessee Edge AAU program. Some of my guys are watching tonight. So I just started episode 1. I literally just clicked on earlier, and I'm about maybe 20 minutes into it, so don't tell me nothing.
Okay, so here's the thing, because I love this shot of you. Thank you for sending this to me, Coach.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Where were you when this picture was taken?
Coach.
Nashville, home. We was opening up the season in Nashville, and that was a great shot. That picture made, and that had about a little over 500 replies between
Nice.
social media, and a lot of guys like it, a lot of people that I knew. And that was the season opener on the prep hoop circuit, which is where my AAU played. And that was home here in Nashville, getting started the season off, of which we won
Good.
3-1. We won 3 games, lost 1 game that weekend, played well.
Okay.
Well, Coach, I'm so
Wonderful.
glad that you can represent, Tennessee basketball really well coming out of Nashville, because ain't nobody representing them out of Memphis, huh?
Oh, now, but hold on, Mike. I
Ouch.
gotta give you, I gotta get, I got,
Ouch.
I got to give you a Val. I got to
Oh,
give
the
you a Val.
playoffs!
My number
Coach,
2 and my number 1 pick.
playoffs!
Hold on,
All right,
hold
go
on.
ahead.
My number 2 is I like y'all, but neither you or Val mentioned it, and they dropped the movie All Eyes on Me, man. Come on, man. That's the dopest.
Okay.
I love it, but if I could, that's on my top 20.
And
If I
the
was to
number
have,
1,
yeah.
and the number 1 for me
Yes,
is ended up being the most expensive. I don't even know if you and Val knew this, but the number 1 cut for me, and Mike, you mentioned it earlier because it's an anthem, is the number 1 most expensive rap video in history. That's California Love, with the Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome theme, because they had to use and borrow it in California, out in Death Valley, where the Army do all their militaristic things. They had to rent that out, and that was the most expensive rap video ever produced.
Okay.
Well,
So, Coach.
yeah, it's the anthem of the state. It's the
Yeah.
unofficial state anthem.
Yeah,
So
man.
Coach and Michael, I told this to Michael earlier. Now, this is how I feel about California Love. This was kind of the alliance of Suge Knight and Tupac. Hopefully, they'll get into that further down the road when Alan continues this docuseries with Dear Mama. I kind of felt like Tupac signed his death certificate, uniting with Dre and Suge Knight, and that song to me kind of is that reminder of this is the beginning of to the end. So
I
as
don't
much
think
as I
it's Dre
kind of
so much as
I
Suge
don't.
Knight, Val.
Yeah,
I
it's not Dre. It's not Dre.
I definitely agree with the Suge Knight portion, but
Yeah.
I don't think with the Dre situation. I think with Dre was trying to get out as much as he could,
he
and I
was.
think that the Tupac situation, because what a lot of people don't know from early documentary, when Pac got out, he literally spit in 24. I think it was like 36 hours, 2 albums in 36
Right,
hours.
exactly.
No art, and both albums went platinum, which is ridiculous.
Right.
So that was
After his
Dr.
death.
Dre's out. He was like, I'm done with you. That was his out.
Yeah.
And Pac, that was his in. Back in the money, in which, of course, obviously,
Yeah,
we
no, they
kind of.
were traveling in 2 different, as Coach, as you're saying, they were going in 2 different directions.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's just the unfortunate timing of it, and it just is. But certainly, what Dre was able to create musically complemented what Tupac was doing lyrically.
Very much so.
And I'm happy that at least their paths, those 2 trains, did at least link up.
Right.
Well,
Now,
Coach.
and speaking of what you said,
Yeah.
who didn't link up is LeBron and Ja.
Well, what's that kid's name? Dylan. I want to say his name before
Dylan
everybody
Brooks,
Forgets his name.
the old man.
Forget him.
Hey, old man. Hey. It remind me, Val, when the dudes be stepping up on Mars and old Otis,
Man.
and old Otis got to break them down. Otis got to break them down at the ATM machine. At the ATM, old Otis break it down.
So Coach, Coach, I know that you made some incredible predictions, and if people had listened to you, did they have this? Should they have had LA over the Grizzlies at this point?
Well, the thing about it is this, with Ja hurting his wrist, even though he still came back and gave him 40, with Ja hurting his wrist, Dylan Brooks being the villain, he's the Dennis Rodman of the crowd, with some things of that nature. No one had LA. LA's hot right now, and I don't think the King is trying to go out quiet. Again, if you take him out, he pulled off something last night with 22 and 20 and 5, 22, 20 and 8 rather, becoming the first person in the playoff era that dropped the number like that. We're talking about over Jordan, Shaq, Magic, everybody. It's crazy.
Coach, can you speak to this? Let me throw you something here. Look, we're still talking about the Lakers and the Grizzlies before we start talking about my Warriors. So here, now everybody talks about the Lakers as being a team of experience, but from what I saw, and correct me if I'm wrong, the real spark with the Lakers has been the youth.
Nah, the real spark with the Lakers to me is Reeves. Reeves, he's the Steve Kerr, John Paxson of that team, and
Okay,
LeBron looked for him.
I
He
mean,
led.
is he on the younger side, or would you gonna
Yeah,
throw him with the veterans, or what?
nah, he's on the young side, and what's nice about him, he's only a sophomore, a second-year
Right,
player. And
right.
what's nice about him is that he's a spot-up shooter. He's earned his stripes, and they're looking for him. And he's led the Lakers in scoring in the last two playoff games quietly because no one's talking about it. And that's what they did with Steve Kerr and Paxson. Nobody talked about that, but Jordan just delivered Steve Kerr a bucket and won against the Phoenix Suns. And then he dropped another one to Paxson and knocked out the Lakers. So, no one talks about that because why? You got to talk about the man to stop, and that's Jordan. And of course, in this situation, is LeBron.
Right. So I think that's the real advantage. That part of the Lakers squad is that the youth is really propelling them to these leads. We're gonna always look to LeBron and the brow on there, but really the people that are pushing that team over the top are the younger players. The anchors
Now,
have been the experience.
Val, have you been watching the series at all?
Yeah, I've been checking out LA, and I've been checking out the other. I've been checking out the Sacramento Kings against Golden State.
Yep.
But
Warriors.
About hey.
Yeah,
Right.
come out and play.
Right. Coach, who's gonna break first in that?
Man,
Who's gonna win on the road in that series first? Is that gonna be Golden State or the Kings?
I think it's going to be the Kings. I think the Kings are going to win on the road first. I think that I think Golden State's got obviously it's Golden State, but I think they underestimated Sacramento coming in here. Obviously, a number 3 seed. It's going to be a good series, but I think Sacktown breaks that on the road win, and if they can do that, it's going to be tough for Golden State to win back on the road in Sacktown.
Fox's hand.
Fox's hand. Who is that?
Fox's hand.
Yeah.
And I think just like Ja, and you saw what happened last night, the true ball player, he came to the middle, Anthony Davis, bam!
Yeah, definitely.
I want to see if that hand is really hurt, or I want to see if I can injure this some more. I don't mean to be playing dirty. This is a playoff.
I'm sorry, Draymond. What did you say you're gonna do, Draymond?
Right. I said, Mike, I'm gonna give him a little tap. Maybe he come down the lane, just a couple little taps. Like
right on the hand. Pow. Is it working? Pow.
And I tell you what, the thing is that here's the difference though. Besides Darren Fox that's doing it, you got Lyles, you got Sabonis, they got a thick roster that matches up well against Golden State, and they play the same. You got Barnes, they play the same style basketball that they do and whatnot. The big key was last week was Wiggins coming off, obviously, that mental issue he had. He's been out for such a long time. And Val, I don't know if you know the story behind that, but he just got back to the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Val, got a question for you. Because you still connected, right? How your New York people doing with the Knicks actually showing up for the playoffs?
At MSG. At the MSG. Hey,
I think
the oldest stadium
good.
in basketball. The oldest stadium in basketball still around. It's like Wrigley Field, never going nowhere.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but I think they have a fighting chance. I think there's a fighting chance, but I don't know.
Chance. They up in the series.
They up in the series.
They have a fighting chance.
I hadn't seen Spike so excited since he won that Oscar.
Yeah, Spike jumped up. I thought Spike was gonna ask for the uniform the other night, man.
No, right. Put me in, coach.
Right, yeah. Put Spike in the game, man. Come on, Till. Let me just get 2 minutes. Let me get 2 minutes, Till.
So they could easily close out the series.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, they are going to close out the series. Speaking of closing out the series, Coach, our friend
and
Mark,
they get Julius Randle back.
Mark.
They get Julius Randle back.
Right, they do. They're going to get stronger. Speaking of closing out series, Coach. Sorry, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
First the first to Marquette and now the Bucks. It's rough time for
Hey,
Milwaukee
I,
basketball.
Mark, I'm gonna give it to you, Mark. I like Jimmy Buckets. I'm pissed because the Bulls let him go, and he down there playing for the
Yeah.
Godfather, Pat Riley. That's the Godfather, man. You know what I'm saying? And if anybody knows how to win, it's Pat Riley. And what I love about Pat is he not only did something that Reinsdorf didn't do for our Bulls, even though we had that whip in the 90s, is that Pat is behind Eric Spoelstra. And I don't know if anyone's looked at the last decade. There's only been two teams that's been in the finals the most in the last 10 years. And I don't know if anyone can guess, but that's been Miami and the Golden State Warriors. So when you're looking at that, you know, and Jimmy had 24 and a half and went off for 35 in the second, had 56 last night, that was ridiculous. Now, don't get me wrong. Giannis ain't back 100%, and Bucks game was led by Lopez, who had 36. So, you know, that's unusual. But
Coach, let's just go back to how brilliant you are with your last point, your previous point here. So we getting the whole back. So we go back to Marquette. We got a Marquette. All right, there you go. There's your Marquette love. All right. So here's the thing.
What is happening?
Coach,
What is
Coach,
happening?
I love that you gave Miami the love that they don't seem to get. And it seems for some people, they think that Miami went away when LeBron left South Beach. They didn't.
No.
This is a real franchise.
It's a real franchise down there, and you got a real franchise with real players, and you got a guy from Los Angeles who damn near who is almost had his picture as the photo on the NBA basketball if it wasn't for Jerry, right?
Right, exactly. Hey, he almost got New York a championship. I mean, the Knicks championship. So,
unfortunately, our homeboy from Chicago, Isaiah Thomas, didn't play that right. They would have had it.
Now you know. So we are talking about NBA playoffs, but we want to make sure we get it in tonight since it's coming up in just a matter of days. We are, but I'm taking it off for a second because the other thing that we want to get into, Coach, is the draft. The NFL draft is coming up, and it is a question of quarterbacks. Which of the two quarterbacks is going to go number one? You've got the two choices coming up here. NFL draft time in Kansas City. Man, there's gonna be some good barbecue at that. For those,
I think I'm gonna give you some CJ Stroud, baby.
You get some CJ Stroud. Well, you could have some CJ Stroud. Or, you could have, you could go a little bit younger, right? You could have some Bryce Young too. So
it's gonna be interesting. I think that who's got the number one draft pick this year?
It's Carolina.
Yeah, but Carolina, and they trade up to get a quarterback. And I think that Bryce fits Carolina better than Stroud. And the only reason why is that Strauss is more of a run option type quarterback.
Yeah, right.
And he's going to need to fit a situation like that where Bryce is going to be more in the pocket because Alabama's got receivers. So having said that, I think that the Carolina Panthers, they select Bryce Young, first QB coming out.
Good. All right. So here, if you all are doing things for entertainment purposes only, so
and by the way, that's 110 to 1 on those odds. By the way, for promotional purposes.
Oh, for promotional purposes, of course. So Bryce is going to be a Carolina Panther. He's going to pick up where the last great Carolina Panther quarterback left off. That was quite a few years ago. But we do want to give Cam Newton the respect that he had for putting both Cam as well as a former Chicago Bear lineman for putting Carolina on the map when they were both down there together.
There you go.
So the Panthers are taking Young over Stroud. So Stroud's going 2?
He'll go. I think he'll go 4th. I think they'll get a couple of linemen, a couple of receivers in between him before he gets picked up.
Georgia, Carter from Georgia.
Yes, I don't think that they'll go quarterback in the draft.
All right. So we're gonna mix it up. Speaking of quarterbacks, we want to get this in this week because this was big news, especially for our folks here in New York checking us out. We did give the Knicks some love, so don't y'all start complaining. We ain't acknowledge the Knicks. The Knicks are winning for now. They're winning for now. We'll see second round what happens to the Knicks. You know what's going to happen. But breaking news, the Jets have a quarterback, something that they haven't had for what, 50, 60 years?
Wait a minute. That's mean. They haven't had a quarterback.
Hey,
I'm clapping for one reason. I'm clapping
you know
for one reason.
For twice a year. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah, one reason. That now the NFC North is back up for grabs. Is it Minnesota's league, or is now we're going to play, because the Bears, from what I'm hearing, Mike and Val, they have made some tremendous moves in the offseason to really get some good players to go around Justin Fields and what we got. And what I'm hearing, they're saying the Bears are probably middle of the pack. And now with Aaron Rodgers gone, and they lost a couple other folks, you're now talking about the Bears maybe looking at a 2-3 spot. That's playoff look.
Coach, how many crystals will Aaron Rodgers need to deal with the New York media and New York fans? I think he's going to need all the crystals and all the meditation he can take, because they're going to be on him.
Well, one thing he can't do, he won't get any help from Brett Favre.
Oh, wow.
It's like the Jets forgot the last time they traded for a old Packer quarterback, huh?
Exactly.
Wait, how old is he now? How old is he? 38. So is that considered old
in quarterback years? In quarterback years,
come on, Val.
Old.
He's 18 years removed from college. What you think?
Oh, Lord. Okay.
That ain't 18 years, Val. That ain't 18 years, Val. LeBron run up down the court, right? This is 18 years getting hit on the ground, running in cold weather. And he's playing every one of his 18 years in the snow.
Well, it's not going to be much better when he goes to New Jersey. Oh, I'm sorry, New York. Well, it's
actually
no, you're right. You're right. No, you're right. Jersey. It's Jersey. It really is Jersey. I live there.
And it's still going to be snow.
Oh, and I'm sorry, you're going to the AFC East. That'll be a picnic. I can't wait till Bill Belichick starts playing on you twice a year.
Yeah, you get Belichick, and then you get Belichick to play with. Come on, man. It's going to be interesting.
Coach, let me anger everybody else in the Midwest right now. When Aaron Rodgers left and went to the AFC in the NFC North, Justin Fields is not the best quarterback in that division. Yes? No? What do you think?
All right. All I'm trying to tell you, you find me a better quarterback in the NFC North right now. I tell you, the only person that possibly could be, obviously, the only person that could possibly be would be what's his name at Minnesota?
Case?
Yeah, that's
Can't win the big game guy?
Can't win the big game. And the only
in the playoffs? That guy?
And once again, and now that Green Bay is out, you got a young guy that's starting all over in Green Bay. So now, if the Bears can do what they got to do and get Justin Fields what he needs, you now may see this kid play the way he's supposed to play. Because he's league dogs.
The Bears, when they traded that number 1 pick, they kept the top 10 pick. And the talk here, Coach, is that they're going to stay at home. They're going to bring in the kid from Northwestern on the O-line to make sure that Fields can actually have some time back there. That's what we're hearing. Is that what you're hearing?
Exactly what I'm hearing. And you got to protect his backside. He's going to have to eventually learn, he's going to have to eventually, learn, like Hurt. He's got to, sit in the pocket throw the ball some more, quit running so much.
If somebody's blocking for him, he won't have to run as much.
Right.
He needs to get somebody on the O-line to slow down the defense just a little bit.
Just a tad. Because I'm like, as a mother, I'm sitting here going, protect this child. Protect this. Val,
Hey, Val.
please.
Val, you may want to put on that record. Just a touch of love, a little bit.
Just a touch of O-line, a little bit.
Right.
Hey, I don't mind if they hold. Just slow them down. Just
Slow him down a little bit. Slow
Just a little bit.
down.
There
Right.
you
Cause
go.
I can't
Yeah, go
take a hit. Slow down.
Right. Exactly.
and slow
Exactly,
down,
Val.
please.
I tell you what, it's going to be interesting this year in the NFL because of all the movements. And this is supposed to be a pretty heavy draft. They've got some
Right.
real good, great talent coming out in this draft. That's not quarterback, running back related because, the running back position is pretty much gone. It's like the center in basketball. It's gone. If you're not a stretch forward in basketball that can play the middle and step out and shoot the three like Joker, then there's no place for you in the league. And it's just like, with them running the Wildcat offense now, you pretty much got to be a converted quarterback or running back that can step out to a wideout.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's why the Bears are really set up well. I think that's why Carolina, as you said, likely going to take Bryce Young. Whoever gets CJ Stroud, I don't think they're going to be disappointed. I think they got something good to work with.
And you get a quarterback that's coming out of the second best conference in the nation in the Big Ten, and he's used to playing in bad weather. So to get him any place south or any place with warm weather, then I'm thinking about the possibility. I don't know Garoppolo, how he's sitting in San Fran. I can see CJ Stroud going west as a backup for a couple of years, either to LA Rams or either to San Fran.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
LA.
that's gonna involve
LA.
some trades. But coach, here's what scares me. I'm gonna tell y'all, because I know we got love in Philly. I know we got Philly people around watching us and connected. And so, is what the Eagles could potentially do. I've seen scenarios play out where where the rich gets richer with Jalen Hurts, where Coach Jalen Hurts gets the handoff to the back coming out of Texas. They think he's going to fall because running backs have just been falling over the last couple of years. They think he's going to fall to the Eagles. That would be insane.
Let me tell you, if he falls to the Eagles,
amazing.
If he falls to the Eagles win Super Bowl because they didn't lose anybody. And you saw they just picked up what's his name, a wide receiver this week. So that's incredible. And you get a running back that now can get hurt from not running the ball 17 times, 20 times a game. Now he brings that down to maybe 8, 9, 10. Only time he runs it is if he's flushed out the pocket. Now you got a running back that can hold the defense. Oh, man, that's a lot of bootlegs, man. That's a lot of bootlegs.
His name is Bijan Robinson. And RG3 has declared him, at least in his mind, as the best player in the draft. And I don't get much argument from me because I know running backs don't get the love anymore because we saw what Zeke, went through. And you see how the NFL kind of has these running backs as disposable. But my goodness, that running Philadelphia team, if they get a running back, that's not fair. That won't be fair. That's not fair.
And that's what I'm saying. And again, that's what's they're talking about, can Kansas go back to back? They're gonna be there again. I think the Chiefs will be there again. Will they win and come out of the AFC? I don't know. I'll talk about that as we get to football season once I see things going, because injury is, a football player's worst nightmare, right?
Exactly.
So, and we don't know how they're going to go. But I think this year is going to be very, very interesting. You're going to see the Dirty Birds have a better season than they played last year. And they haven't been relevant in a while. And, of course, if Young goes down in Charlotte, you'll see them playing better than Cam did. Obviously, Cam had them rolling for a while with his bucket hats, and so it's going to be kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a lot of follow-up. I think I agree with you. These teams are going to just get better and better. And so I'm looking forward to it. Of course, that's going to come after my Warriors win the championship. They're 5th. As soon as they knock off the Kings, and knocking
Val,
off
Oh
the Kings.
wow!
start drinking, Val. Start drinking.
Start drinking now.
Yeah,
Oh
start
my
drinking
gosh!
now.
Look,
Here's
coach, you were right on most things, but I think I
Hey,
gotta give my credit because I told you I know the Warriors gonna lose in Sacramento those 2 games, but I
hey,
wasn't worried, and now the series is tied.
yeah, it's time. But I'm telling you, they got to go through Mile High on the west side.
Yeah, I mean, but look, they're gonna beat the Kings. The Warriors gonna beat the Kings.
Hey,
Sorry,
I'm gonna say,
Zach.
so
I'm gonna
when
call it
is
play.
it? I'm sorry. So before we go, because we jumped two or three things. NFL draft is going to be when this weekend?
NFL draft's coming up. Let me pull it up for
I
you
think
in
it
just
starts.
a
I think
second.
they start Thursday, or
Yeah,
is it Thursday or
it
Friday?
should be Thursday.
Yeah,
Should
Yeah.
be
Thursday. It's like
the
a
7th. Yes.
Thursday. Yeah, Thursday through Monday.
Right.
All right.
The first couple picks. The first pick is the Panthers. Carolina goes first. The Texans. That's how Lovey got
Oh,
fired.
nice.
They're going second. Uh, Cardinals a third. Arizona.
Okay.
Arizona needs everything, so
Mm-hmm,
they can go in
mm-hmm.
any direction. The Colts, as Coach was saying, it will likely take TJ Stroud.
Yep,
Okay.
He doesn't go
Okay.
yep.
one, he's going four.
That's
And
why I
then
said he'll probably drop 4 or 5 down there. He'll probably
right,
go
and
4
then
to 5.
you got the Seahawks, another one of them teams. I mean, they could pick up an extra quarterback for this draft. They could, I mean, they could do whatever they want to with the team and squad they got. But Coach, I think they're getting the backup. They're gonna get their player of the future, their quarterback of the future, and they'll go
Okay.
another year with their guy. They're gonna go another year with hey. They counted me out, but I didn't. But I ain't answer right.
Right.
Right. So
Another year.
there we go. So that is what's happening, and then all of it'll be going into the second round of the NBA playoffs next week. Is that
Very
correct?
soon. Yeah,
That's
very
correct.
Very
soon.
soon.
Soon
Wrap
and
up this
very
first.
Very
soon,
soon.
we are going to see the King. I'm telling
All
you.
right,
And that's
Coach. So
LeBron,
what
right?
you gonna talk about next week, Coach?
Hey, next week is going to be very interesting. Where we get to the second round of the NBA playoff, and I again working on another special guest for you guys, Val, to keep the peace because you got to give the people what it is. Give the
Give them
people
what
what
they
they want.
want.
There you
Oh,
go, baby.
and I wanted to just clarify. Keep your head up. The Tupac song. It samples Zapp's "Be All Right." Ooh, child.
Everything's going to be all right. Yeah.
Zap featuring Roger
So
Troutman.
Roger.
Coach, so that'll be great. So he'll be back next week to give us the NFL. Will you talk about the NFL draft and how it went?
Yeah, we'll go.
Sure. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure
We're
we'll
going
go through it.
We're gonna
Okay,
we're gonna
great.
give them both. We're gonna give them the second round of what we're looking at because the NBA is getting a little interesting. Because like I told Mike, it almost is looking like the NCAA because the favorites are kind of like dwindling away. And these are some teams that Denver, who the hell from Denver? What really? So we're gonna talk about that. Then we're gonna see how these draft picks kind of fell in place. Val, we're gonna keep the people focused.
All right, wonderful. All right, so give us some tips for what should happen for the people. They should be doing what?
Hey, they should be keeping their ear to the grind. And if you ain't pushing that button, I say push the button. Like Martin say, push the button, man. And you got to look in on Tuesday nights. Interludes talk on Tuesday with my home girl. What's her name? Val, the voice Jonathan, and my homeboy, Mr. Womble. And of course,
Coach
every week you're going to get me live from the Rise Studios, Coach T. But you know my words. I love y'all, but I'm out.
He's out. There he goes, Coach. Oh my gosh. Oh no. There he goes. Oh my gosh. Not to completely end, but here we go. What are you going to be talking about on
I got
Draw
it.
before do that?
I got it. Because we're not gonna end with that tonight. I'm gonna pick it up and talk about it tomorrow. But
Okay.
as many of you know, we were talking about a musical legend tonight, but I'm going to go into depth about not just the music, but the legacy, the political activism legacy of Mr. Harry Belafonte. We'll talk about him tomorrow on #Wamba Wednesday. So I'll get into it. I'll talk about it because certainly we did lose a legend. and somebody that hopefully some of the younger artists out there may see as a source of inspiration. What did Harry Belafonte do? What didn't he do? And we'll go
Exactly.
into it tomorrow. Hashtag Wamba
And
Wednesday.
and I definitely will be joining you on that episode because I can definitely tell you of the one time that I did meet Harry Belafonte a couple
Names
of
still
years
being
ago.
dropped. Catching names. Yeah, between you and Coach Tony, I'm gonna have to bring a glove, baseball glove with me. Because I feel like a shortstop. I'm just having. I'm like Elvis Andrews. I gotta like catch all these names. My goodness,
So
man.
you'll be so
Tupac.
you'll
I
be
know Tupac. Harry Belafonte. Yeah, let me tell you about Harry. Really, really.
so
Okay,
join us both on tomorrow. Hashtag
okay,
Wobble Wednesdays. And that's at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And I'll be the special guest joining Mr. Womble, letting you guys know about a
okay.
wonderful new podcast, chit-chatting about Dear Mama. There you go. And all right, there it is. So let
All
me do my
right.
close. If you guys
Yeah.
would like to become a sponsor for Talk on Tuesdays, Interludes Extra Talk on Tuesdays, go ahead and let us know. And if you want to follow us on Patreon, I'll ask Mr. Springer to put it in the chat for us. We thank you so
Shots.
much for joining us for this extended remix of Talk on Tuesdays. Mr. Womble, what's your name?
My name is not Val the Voice Johnson, but yours is, and we'll see you tomorrow. This is me, Interludes Extra. Talk on Tuesday with Val the Voice Johnson, Coach Tony, and me.
And
And
we'll
Mr.
see you.
Springer.
And we'll see you guys next week on this same stations. Peace.